if you do these 5 things, you will not be one of those weird haters on the internet who doesn't understand why getting together with friends at roofing events is so ridiculously powerful.
What are the bottlenecks in your business? Write 5 of those down. Don't overwhelm yourself with 100 different problems that you have, but what are the 5 main ones?
Just in time knowledge, not just in case knowledge.
Make it a point to get 5 new good contacts.
Hey, how's it going? It's Tim Brown, and this is the Hook Better Leads podcast, and today I have Diego of RoofCon on. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, and I'm excited to be here, my friend.
Awesome. We're talking about 5 ways to get more out of roofing events, and we're not just talking about RoofCon, although it is RoofCon 5.
Hashtag RC5.
Let's go, baby.
Excited.
And we are telling you things that you'll be able to use for any event. And if you do these 5 things, you will not be one of those weird haters on the internet who doesn't understand why getting together with friends at roofing events is so ridiculously powerful. And I believe that. I believe that it's very powerful. And what you guys got going on, I feel like you guys are trying to modernize or be part of the modernization of roofing. And that's why I like to be part of it.
It's exciting, and I definitely agree. I've gotten a lot of people that say that we are what young roofing is, almost like millennial roofing. So I'll take that. You know, I'm a millennial myself, and so totally cool with that title.
I've been to some pretty boring conferences before. Let's just say on the complete other side of the country, I mean, there's some old hats in roofing. There's some basically I feel like we're going to make RoofCon. RoofCon's going to be super fun this year, and our booth is going to be super fun. So come check it out. But
have you announced what you're doing at your booth? Does your crowd know?
That here, yeah. We'll share it. So we are having a tattoo artist at our booth, and you can come. And first question is, for real? And yes, for real. We're having a tattoo artist at our booth, and for free, you can come get your logo tatted on you at our booth. We're doing like a whole rock star theme, and we believe, hey, from my point of view, I mean, I always show it, but whatever. Like, to me, this is commitment to my company and my brand. Now, don't do it if your brand sucks and it's and you're probably going to replace the logo. But if you've had your logo for a while and you know you're going to have it for a long time, come get it tatted on you. I don't want to be tatting like no regrets type stuff on people. So I hope that this is like something that you're really committed to as a logo for a while. But we're excited to do that. So come check it out.
What if people want to get the RoofCon arrow on their body?
I will, you should do that for sure. Do you already have it?
I don't have any tattoos.
Yeah, I'd do it. For us, so they can get our logo tatted on them, and they get $2,500 off their service with Hook Agency. So I don't know if you want to figure out a way to like make that like a deal or something like that. I feel like they should get some deal if they get a tat like
maybe that. We ask your guy to come to the VIP party, and anyone who does it there gets a free ticket towards next year.
That's pretty.
And then
dope.
We're not pulling him away from your booth.
Yeah, dude, that sounds awesome. So let me talk to him about it, and we'll see. I mean, we can figure it out. All right, let's get into your 5 ways to get more out of roofing events. This goes for RoofCon and all the other roofing events. Go to a couple this off season, so to speak. Check them out. It's a great time. What should we be looking to do if we're going to get the most out of these types of events?
So the first part is preparation, right? You want to come prepared. A lot of people will just go to some of these shows to, they come in with not really anything in mind. To your point, like, people love networking and having fun and all that, and I do too, and you do. But if you want to get the most out of any industry event, the first thing that I will say is come with 5 questions. So think about, what are the things in your business that are the bottlenecks? What are the things that you're struggling with? It may be that you're really, really good at door-to-door sales, but maybe you suck at keeping cash flow positive. or maybe you need some help with generating leads or anything like that. Like, figure out what are the bottlenecks in your business. Write 5 of those down. Don't overwhelm yourself with 100 different problems that you have, but what are the 5 main ones? And write them down and come ready to learn and have those questions answered. You're going to have a ton of different, especially at RoofCon, you're going to have a ton of different breakout sessions, panels, keynotes, all that stuff. But a lot of people get really overwhelmed when you go to these conferences because you just want to take everything in. So if you're just going in with the point of, I want to have my 5 questions answered, you're not going to get overwhelmed. You're going to be able to get the most out of the show.
Yeah, I love the topic of just-in-time knowledge, not just-in-case knowledge. Meaning, this is information that you're going to use soon, not, I might, maybe you're nowhere near getting sold, private equity stuff. So maybe don't go to those sessions this year. I understand that it's nice to look at, but sometimes just focus on what the next 3 months, what's going to be good for me in the next 3 months. I think that you're more likely to use that information. A lot of us have too much miscellaneous information in our heads that doesn't relate enough to what we're doing in the day-to-day. And that's, I don't encourage people, personally, I don't encourage you to go collect just-in-case knowledge. I like just-in-time.
Yeah, I agree. I think if it's a keynote where, there's nothing else going on and you want to catch something like that, I think that's totally cool. Like if it's something where it wasn't really one of the things you were trying to, look out for. But if you're having to choose between different sessions to go to, having those 5 questions is really going to help you to make the right choices as to what sessions you should attend.
What's the next one?
Yeah, so the next way to get the most out of any sort of roofing event is to make it a point to get 5 new good contacts.
Yes.
So going in with this mindset of what are some of the things that I need to work on in my business, there's going to be people at any industry events that are really, really good at the things that you're not really, really good at. So find those people. Again, if it's generating leads, maybe you go and you meet Tim Brown for the first time, or you meet whoever else, Joe Hughes or whoever, right? And the point of that is, like, when you go to these sessions, think about in 5 years' time from now, keeping in the theme of 5s. Think about 5 years from now. You're probably not going to remember a lot of the stuff that you learned at those sessions, but hopefully those 5 connections that you made are going to help you to be able to, when you need something and you need, maybe I've never done commercial sales, and so I'm going to go find the 5 people that are great at commercial sales. Well, 5 years down the road, when you've got more questions about commercial sales or whatever it is, you've got that contact that you can go to and you can ask questions about, hey, how do you do this one thing? How do you do this one other thing? So I think that's a huge, huge thing of making those connections at these industry events.
RoofCon's amazing. Getting to see all the speakers like Nick and Eric and especially Tim Tebow. Very exciting and eye-opening.
Amazing speakers and great knowledge. Keep it up.
First RoofCon, been following Hunter and the Revolt Clan for quite some time, and it's definitely been a lot more than what we expected.
RoofCon 2023 returns to Orlando, Florida, November 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets at roofcon.com.
And more, selfishly, I love the idea of it being vendors, but like for roofing company owners, find 5 other roofing company owners. If you're a salesperson, find 5 other high-performing salespeople. Talk to them, and don't get starstruck. I know what it is. Like, people are like, "Well, my guys are over here. I'm going to talk to the other guys that are sub $1 million." Go to the $5 million guy. Go to the $18 million guy. Say what's up. I'll tell you from experience. Dan Walrek, super nice guy. I bet you he would try to be of service to you in that moment. They want to help. People want to help. This is their time to give back. And
guys like John Cenac too. Yeah. I mean, you've got how many people I've called them myself when I've had trying to get roofs approved where the insurance didn't. I'm like, man, this needs to be approved. And I just called John because I'd already built that relationship through going to conferences and all this stuff. So I called John, and John in 5 minutes walked me through what I had to do and got a roof approved for me.
Exactly. And like, you don't know why it matters yet. And I sometimes when you meet these people, but you meet them and you're nice, go with a good vibe. I do think sometimes, and I think that this is a good vibe conference. So go with a good vibe and just try to be nice to other people. Try to be helpful to other people too, because like sometimes you're that person for somebody else. But I just want to encourage you to kind of go with a good mindset, and even just getting 5 new people that are cool in your phone could be a huge deal. And I think you're exactly right. Sometimes you don't know when you meet them, like why it's going to be helpful necessarily.
The next one would be to strengthen 5 existing relationships. I'm going to use one specific example for me of the guys at Roofer. So I love hanging out with those guys. I think they're really cool. But also when I go to these shows, you know, these are people for the most part. When I'm meeting someone for the first time, I've probably already been friends with them on Facebook, and I'm just meeting them in person for the first time, right? The guys at Roofer, I, hung out with them at a conference, became really good friends with them. And then when I needed some help on some measurements, some DIY measurements, Nick reached out, or I reached out to Nick, and I was like, dude, can you help me out with this thing? And I feel like some of the other vendors that maybe I've worked with in the past, maybe I just didn't have that close of a relationship with. And so because I had a relationship with them, it just made it super simple for me to reach out to them. They helped me out through it. He sent me a Loom video showing me exactly what needed to be done. So coming in with some of these relationships that we already have, going in, and maybe you take some of these people out to dinner, or you know what, a lot of vendors want to take you out to dinner too. So
That's
finding,
cool.
so finding what those opportunities are. Maybe they're people you're already doing business with. Maybe, you're already signed up with a Job Nimbus or an Acculinks or something, and like go meet those people that you're already paying money to, or, whatever it is.
Troubleshoot
It's
something
super
with the
important.
software. I mean, like when they're there, you know what I mean? Like if you got some question, like a lot of times it's just, it's just easier to be right there with them and be walking through and be talking through an issue. So I think that's sometimes good too. I think, your existing relationships, like if you are in roofing, you probably have some of these vendors, whether it's your supplement company or whatever. So just go connect with them, warm up the relationship, keep the good vibes flowing. I think that's a good use of your time personally, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I think the next part, what I would say is point number 4, is less than 5 days later. So very soon after the conference, make 5 goals that are now, you grabbed all your notes from the show, you came in with your questions, you took your notes, and make 5 goals that are going to help you within the next, 3 to 12 months. So maybe that's, going in with the same, still using one of the points might be that I want to generate more leads. So if that's the thing, I went to all these sessions about marketing and I figured out what are the things we need to do. Oh, we're not running Google local service ads, and maybe we need to try that, and maybe we need to do this and this and that. Okay, get together with your team and set 5 goals of 5 things that you're going to do within the next 3 to 12 months that are going to help you, so that when you come next year, you're not asking the same questions, right? You've improved on those things and you've moved on. You were able to scale because you were able to implement those things. Because a lot of the times we take in all this information and then we don't implement anything. And that's cool. You went and you networked and you got the relationships, but it's even better when you do all that and then you're also able to implement the information and actually scale.
Yeah, it could be small things. You know what I mean? You don't need to make these massive goals. You can make it, clean up this element of our bookkeeping, or whatever it happens to be. Or you can make it a large thing, like get a new bookkeeper. You know what I mean? Like, so, but it doesn't have to be all massive things, I would say. Just do things that you'll actually get done, so that I think don't waste the information, I think is what you're saying.
Yeah. And I think also making sure that when you set these goals that they're, the SMART goals, right?
Oh,
That they're the 5 letters there, right? So,
no more 5. Give us your last one of the 5, though. Actually,
okay, the 5. This one might be kind of selfish, but I want you to know that it's not 100% selfish, and that's to bring 5 team members. Now, why do I say that? Give back to your team. Your team needs to feel appreciated, right? And not only that, think about how much more information you can consume when you can split up your efforts and go, hey, I'm sending these people out to tackle all the sales content. I'm sending this team out to go tackle this, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to take in the leadership content and whatever else, right? You divide and conquer, but also, again, you give back to your team. You show them that you care about them, that you're investing into their success. That's a huge point to make.
Is your lead flow down? Whether you're a company owner, office staff, salesperson, or installer, you're a roofing rock star. We help you get more leads with custom SEO, Google Ads, and a pro website.
I know a lot of like roofing owners feel like there's a lot of information. It's overwhelming. That sometimes it's also a little bit disheartening when they have all this enthusiasm and they get back home and there's other people that don't have that same amount of enthusiasm. They're not as revved up as them. And I think that I've seen a number of roofers at RoofCon with their team there, and it feels good to have other people getting excited with you. And I think that I've seen a lot of those people. The culture is a big thing, right? Like I think that the RoofCon and Revolt and the stuff that you guys do is about culture in companies, not just an owner getting all excited, but about creating a culture that gets excited about roofing, a culture that understands the modern side of roofing and where roofing is going. And so just get more of your people here. I mean, like I know that we're recommending to get more tickets, but I'm telling you what's more costly than spending some money on a ticket to RoofCon is having disengaged employees. Disengaged employees cost a lot of money. So if you can find a way to get more people there, I strongly suggest it.
So one of the things that I say to people is, dude, you're not going to get to go to all the content and also go, see 200 vendors. If you let's say you bring in your ops manager and you're like, dude, I just want you to walk the trade show floor and get to see what is it that we need, right? Someone that you trust, their judgment on some of the decision making for your organization. So you send that one person. Well, dude, I mean, I'm not like expo tickets are 100% free at RoofCon. So if you want to come in and watch, we can talk a little bit more about some of that stuff here in a second. But all that to say, like, it can be so beneficial. We had one of the big focuses at RoofCon too is actually it's the biggest focus at RoofCon is leadership. So I'm probably going to, get blue in the face the amount of times I've said this, that I consider RoofCon to be a leadership conference for the roofing industry. And think about how much better your organization can be if your entire team can learn how to develop as leaders, right? So for sure, again, and this isn't even for RoofCon. Think about bringing your team out, bring your team out to IRE, bring your team out to D2D Con, SolarCon, all these great conferences. Like, if you have the ability to do it, those team members will remember that you brought them there, that you invested into them, that you care about them.
100%. So that being said, what else is new with RoofCon? I wanted to make sure we get any other. What do you guys got going on? What is the new hot stuff? Give me the lowdown. I mean, like, we just want a preview.
Yeah,
I'm already going. I'm excited. So
yeah, so a lot of cool stuff. I wanted to, this year when I came in with a ton of just ideas. Having come in as an attendee last year and then being put in charge of the team, it was really interesting because I just came with a lot of fresh ideas, I guess. So one of the big things that we're doing is, like I mentioned earlier, free expo tickets. So a lot of people just want to come in and do the networking. So that's totally cool. So doing free expo tickets for people to come in, just network, and still come to the welcome party, still have a good time. We're also doing, we used to pull people out from the expo hall to do like breakout sessions and all that stuff. This year we said, hey, how do we keep as much of that in the expo hall as possible? So we're doing breakouts. We're building out breakout rooms inside of the expo hall. I think that's a really just, cool thing. I think some other conferences have done something similar, but we're starting to do that this year. So I'm super excited about that. But man, beyond that, the thing that I'm the most excited about is some of the content that we have going on. A lot of the stuff that we've done in the past has just been, how do we get you the most amount of personal development? And that's cool. And we're still all about the personal and leadership development. But I wanted to get some people that we're going to talk, especially on main stage, that we're going to give you really good information that everyone in the roofing industry should know. So people like John Cenac, John Cenac, people that are going to be talking on recruiting, people that are going to be talking on like leading a sales team and a lot more tactical information. So I really feel that coming in this year, it's really, how do we help these roofing contractors? What are the things that we hear the most, about needing to build a team, about just like breaking into retail sales, breaking into like all these things that we hear, and we see all these questions all the time in our big Facebook group. How do we make the content centered around that to make it the most powerful conference that you can attend, to be able to get the best amount of information so that you can learn everything that you need at this one conference, take it home, and just go crush it?
So RoofCon 5, everybody. That sounds awesome. You guys have, what is the Facebook group, just for people that don't know?
The Roofing and Solar Community.
Roofing and Solar Community. And yeah, you guys have a lot of data about what people are asking the most. What, if you had to guess, what would you guess is the most common question out of any question that gets asked in Roofing and Solar Community? Like, what's the most common question?
And I'm not saying this to like blow smoke up your butt, but I think that the question I see the most is like, who should build my website? I feel like I see that one so much.
Yeah.
You probably get tagged in a ton of those, right?
Yeah. Usually.
But I feel like that's a big one. I feel like a lot of questions regarding specific things regarding the insurance process. But one really cool thing is that it's just how active that group is.
Yeah, it's
because
a very fun group. It's a good vibe. And you guys must kick people out when they talk a lot of smack, because there's not as much smack talking as a lot of the roofing groups.
That's one of my favorite things to do. Yeah. Just to kick the people out that I don't like.
Diego
or that
personally will kick you out if you're smack talking.
I don't anymore, but I did for a while. Yeah, I did for a while. So now we have a social media manager, and she handles all the kicking out.
Yeah, but it feels like it's just, what did you guys do to make it less contentious? Because what I see in some of the roofing groups, Facebook groups, is there's a lot of people kind of downing and digging on new roofers. And it's tough because, no offense, you were new at one point. Like, what's going on? Like, why are you so mean to people trying to get into the industry? And I don't see that as much in your group.
We just kick out all the a-holes. That's it.
That's it. All right. Well, that's
I mean, literally, it's every time I see anyone that's an a-hole in the group, we just kick them out. We just have a zero tolerance. Sometimes there's some sarcastic people, and we kick them out, and they come back and they're like, "Oh, we love this group. I'm sorry." And I'm like, "Okay, well, fine. I'll give you one more chance." But just
like, was it the when people were calling you guys a cult?
Corey Combs.
Why did you guys get called a cult? Is it because of the graveyard stuff with Revolt?
Oh my God, that was before all that.
Oh, so you guys decided to go to a graveyard and have everyone write down what they want to be remembered for.
Okay,
after you
so
got
I
called
feel
to
like
call?
we'll probably need some explaining for people that don't know. Okay,
Okay,
so when RoofCon 2020 happened, RoofCon 2019, which was year one, we had 50 people. And then RoofCon 2020, we had 881 people in the middle of COVID. And everyone was talking about it because everyone else had canceled their conferences except for us. To my knowledge, I could be wrong. Someone's going to come out and say, but for the most part,
I went
think
to a couple roofing conferences during COVID, but yeah.
But most of them were towards the beginning of the year, I believe. Yeah. And then the ones that were supposed to be later in the year, which is when ours is, got canceled or got pushed or whatever. Anyway, most of them. And so the point is that a lot of people were talking about RoofCon in the Facebook group. And there was a lot of people posting their photos and all sorts of stuff. And so someone went in the group and commented, "You guys are turning the roofing industry into a cult, and it's effing sad." And so he said that, and then we ended up putting it on. We put that on a T-shirt, and it said, it just had his quote, and then underneath it had a QR code, and it said "Scan to join the cult," and it would take you to join the Facebook group.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got called a cult before all the cemetery stuff. I'll tell you the cemetery stuff so Revolt, which is technically a separate company from us, but it's all in-house. They have these retreats where they do a lot of personal development stuff, and there's a session that's really, I would say, really emotional. It's definitely a you have to be there session. Yeah. I would say it's kind of hard to understand if you're not there. But it's a session tied around what's your lasting legacy going to be? What is it that you want to be remembered for? And then reverse engineering your life to make it to where you do the things that you want to be remembered for. And there's levels of accountability there to make sure that you do those things. And it's a really, really good session, but it would sound really, really weird for anyone that has not attended.
If I do attend, I mean, it sounds emotional and it sounds like it would be impactful. If I did attend at some point, could I get buried? Just like partially buried, just as part of it?
I feel like that would definitely add an added level of stress to that one session.
Yeah, it probably doesn't need to be that deep. Okay. No, it sounds honestly, I was joking about that being culty, but I actually was jealous because I kind of wanted to go.
You got to come out, man. It's a good time.
Yeah. So is there anything else you want to talk about related to RoofCon? Anything else going down?
Man, it's just a fun time. It's a fun time. You said, hey, it's good vibes. I agree. I want to now I just want to make a T-shirt that just says RoofCon is good vibes.
So Diego, what do you guys got going on for ticket deals right now? When's the next price increase? That type of thing.
So right now we've got it posted on our website, roofcon.com. You can get $200 off your RoofCon ticket. And on September 24th, that price is going to go up. So if you want to get a discount, I know a lot of people like to wait till the last minute, so we like to incentivize the people that buy them a little earlier. So September 24th, those prices are going to go up. So if you want to get that $200 off, make sure you go to roofcon.com.
All right, check it out and get those 5 for your team as well. Get the enthusiasm going. Get the culture stoked. And Diego, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us.
Tim, thank you. Thank you for everything you do for the industry, because I think you guys do. I see a lot of compliments about you guys and the work you guys do. And so, man, we want to do business with good people, like people that we can promote, people that we've been pretty vocal about not inviting certain people back to our show and all that stuff. And so, I enjoy doing business with people like you guys, that support us, where we can support you guys because I see people raving about you guys. So thank you for everything you guys do.
Hey, I appreciate that very much.
So,
all right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, etc. Podcast is put on by hookagency.com. Hook Agency all over social. All right, bye.
thank you.